And welcome to the Basin Show.
We'll edit that somewhere.
Yeah. We'll get our boomerisms out. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like today we're just going to talk, really.
Yeah, we're just here to have a good time today. School just started. We're back in full swing. Derek's a bit more stressed with his life situation and his wife going back to school and
other things.
Yeah, my wife had her first class today, and she was just sitting in our living room. I couldn't come in here, sit with her, and I was like, "What the?"
You banished to the other room.
Yeah. I had to be quiet in my own freaking house. What the crap? So.
yeah, I wonder if that's how Melissa feels when we record these.
But that's only
But
once a week.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And it's in
Okay.
the evening too.
Zoom. How do you guys feel about
It's
it?
such garbage. Zoom is so bad.
I agree.
I hate
Especially
Zoom.
after using Discord for so long. Like, Zoom is so unsecure. It's just, I've never had a good connection with Zoom. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
My internet's not bad. It's always been choppy, and the audio quality is hot garbage.
Yeah, it seems difficult to use, which,
Yeah.
I mean, Derek, I don't think you really use it much.
I
but
use it.
Do you use
for
it?
work.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know.
What are your guys' ideas on why we had all these other things set up like freaking Google Meets, Google Hangouts, like Discord, stuff like that, and why they made everyone go to Zoom? I'd never heard of Zoom before.
I would imagine it was probably some sort of lobby. This is me, as my opinion. But I'm assuming it was some sort of lobbying or some sort of deal somebody made. You know what I mean? There probably
So it's all a conspiracy.
I don't think it's not really
Didn't
conspiracy.
Zoom start giving it out for free?
I think,
But-
yeah. So
but I'll-
basically, they didn't require a license to host a meeting at the start.
Yeah, but Microsoft gives out Word to students. I don't see why we couldn't work something out with them because they do that anyway.
Yeah, but didn't some of their streaming stuff kind of die recently?
Yeah, they killed, what is it, Mixer?
Yeah, Mixer died.
Yeah, but that was because no one was using it. The only person on there was Ninja, and I'm not 14, so I never watch any of. I'm not a Fortnite kid. I'm sorry.
Is Ninja the guy with all the crazy hair?
Yeah. He makes tons of money playing Fortnite. Yeah,
Fortnite's the worst.
I don't know. I'm just not into the whole battle royale. I like video games, but I'm not into the whole battle royale thing.
I think I mostly am just annoyed with all the kids just dancing the same dances.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've got to love TikTok then.
Oh gosh, screw TikTok too.
I agree.
Yeah.
Good thing freaking Trump's banning that crap.
I don't know
I
if-
mean, unless Microsoft buys it.
yeah.
Microsoft could make a lot of money on that. There's a lot of money to me.
Doesn't what's his name? Zuckerberg.
Z?
Zuckerberg.
Mark
Doesn't he have
Zuckerberg.
a knockoff of it that's probably gonna come out once?
Is it a bite?
I can't remember what it is.
I mean, let's be real. TikTok is just a knockoff of Vine, so.
It's
Why
the,
did Vine die?
the Chinese counterfeit of Vine.
I don't know why Vine died. I think.
It's because they got bought out.
Did they get bought out?
I think.
Who bought out Vine and closed it, man? That was a gold mine.
I don't know. Yeah, that is the thing about Vine versus TikTok, is TikToks go on for so long. At least Vine, it's 15 seconds and it's over, right? TikTok just goes on and on and on. You can do several
fit
minutes.
a lot of crap in that 15 seconds too.
Yeah, and it was good quality content for being so short. Yeah, I don't know.
Now, just the dancing and I see a girl dancing to a song anytime it's a TikTok little tag or whatever on the bottom. It's just
Yeah.
annoying, man. I miss the vines of kids just getting hurt. The watermelon guy.
Dan the meme man.
Yeah, just such great stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if if Zuckerberg has another app, but he's one of the people that really lobbied for TikTok to be banned.
Makes sense.
So he does have another.
Yeah, I don't know. Good on him. If you can get rid of TikTok so I don't have to see that crap and I can get back to better memes, I'm pumped about it.
Sure. I mean, speaking of memes, I need to find this study so I don't sound like an idiot. Keep going. I'll find this thing.
Okay, but anyway, the Zoom thing, I don't know. I have to use it for my work and my classes and stuff. I don't know. After learning how to use it, it's okay. I don't know. And apparently I was reading and they've been trying to build it up for 9 years. I don't think it's worth the hype that everybody put around it. I don't know. I wish there was a better way to do it. But I'm pretty good at using it now. But it's just
Okay.
dumb
Here we are.
issues.
Basically, I just go into different people's chat rooms.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just click a link and open it. That's all I do with it.
See, and like Weber was doing a weird thing where like you couldn't get onto some of the meetings on Canvas or whatever if you hadn't signed in through Weber's version of Zoom, and before it wasn't like that. So I don't.
Yeah, I dropped the only class that I had that was a Zoom class. All of mine are online only. And so like if I don't, hopefully if things go well, I won't have to talk to any of my professors. I can just turn in work and be done.
Give me a second. I got to turn off that fan. I can hear it.
Boneless chicken. Keep talking. Anyway, I found there was a study. It was an MIT technology review study that was trying to figure out where memes come from, right? Guess where they have found memes most commonly come from?
4chan.
4chan and the Donald.
Ah, the Donald.
The Donald.
What's
Do you
the
not know
Donald?
about the
No, I
Donald?
don't
The
know about
Donald.win?
No.
Okay, so...
But you got to tell everybody what 4chan is, because 4chan's actually... we can't endorse 4chan. It's kind of sketcy, but it's cool. It's a cool concept.
I can never... I cannot confirm nor deny my usage of such platforms, but... 4chan is it's a very old message board on the internet. Originally, I believe it was started by some weeaboos to talk about anime. Yeah, yeah. But the beautiful thing about 4chan is there's no moderation like there is on Reddit, so you can post whatever you want, and they can't ban you.
Oh, that's so.
And I mean anything. Yeah. You get a lot of interesting individuals on 4chan. There are different boards. It is somewhat organized. So you have like poll is the /poll is the political board, or X is like the paranormal stuff, like X-Files, right? Paranormal stuff. Tons of different boards. B is anything. Don't go on B. Don't go on B, please. B's bad. They're all, yeah. And then the Donald was, I believe, started in 2015. On Reddit, it was the subreddit for Donald Trump supporters. It's called the Donald, right? Actually, about a year or so ago, Reddit quarantined the Donald, so you couldn't join it if you hadn't already joined it. And then it got frozen, so no one could post on
Why?
the Donald.
How?
Just because you would get banned for posting stuff, pro-Trump stuff. And so the people of the Donald went, you know what, screw you guys, we're going to make our own website. And they did. It's called the Donald.win. Which is interesting because recently the Donald subreddit was officially taken down because of hate speech, despite the fact no one had posted on it for like 6 months because it had been frozen, right? Yeah, interesting application of rules there. But yeah, so that's 4chan and the Donald. It's a very quick summary of what they are.
So mostly it's the Donald.win, you said?
Yeah. That's the website. And mostly 4chan is where most memes come from. For the longest time, there's been a phrase in the internet, the left can't meme. 4chan is very much dominated by numbers and people posting statistics. If you know, you know.
I have no experience with that stuff.
Despite, that's all I'm going to say. Yeah. So that's where most memes come from. I don't know why I remembered this, but yeah, there's an MIT technology review study that found that most memes come from 4chan. Surprise, surprise. If you're going to let the Wild West be on the internet, they're going to make amazingly dumb things that are fun to laugh at.
Okay, so what's your guys' thoughts then on like moderating stuff like that? Like, okay, so if someone gets on there and posts something, okay, let's do a few different extremes. Someone gets on there and says, I want to hit your cat with a baseball bat.
That rhymed.
It did. I did not mean for that. I could be Eminem.
Let's keep
Call me Slim Shady.
wrap
You look nothing like Slim Shady. You got to shave your head first.
Yeah.
No,
You could look like him.
don't.
You shaved your
I
head.
could.
It's too good, dude.
Yeah, I can't. Okay, so some kid is like on there. Yeah, I'm gonna hit your cat with
Yeah,
a baseball bat
yeah.
type of a thing. Okay, if I am, let's say Facebook, because
Okay.
why not be an alien for a day? Am I supposed to like get rid of that comment?
I mean, is it legit? Like, he's going to go hit you with a baseball bat?
No, probably not. Nothing on the internet.
I would say that Probably not, because that's just
it's
such
just
a,
an animal.
No, not that it's just an animal, but more the like. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like what?
Like,
what really,
yeah, go ahead and try, bud. We'll see how that turns out for you. I say no, that's dumb. But if you have somebody specifically saying like, oh, you live at this address, I'm gonna come find you, that's a big no.
But find the cat.
Well,
Not
just
them.
saying I'm gonna hit your cat to some random person on the internet, like they don't know where
No,
you
but
live.
like if they have your address.
Well,
So,
that's
let's
that
say
would
like
be like some kind of reason to get the police involved
Okay.
and get protection or something.
If you're in public and you say to somebody, I want to hit your cat with a heavy object, is that illegal?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Versus
Especially
saying
if like the cat's not on their property at the time.
yeah, especially so my opinion is very much like if it's illegal to do in public face to face, you should keep it. If it's illegal, I may say that. If it's legal, keep it. If it's illegal in public, yeah, get rid of it. But that's where the line should be, is entirely on what the law would be if it were face to face.
Okay. Then let's change this. Instead of saying I'm gonna come hit you or your cat, let's say this person says, I hate your stinking guts. I hope you die. Is that okay?
I mean, it's not illegal to say that to somebody.
Okay.
I'm 100% for you should be able to tell people to go away in whatever way you want to tell them to go away in.
Okay.
As long as you're not threatening somebody or breaking laws.
if you're not calling for violence, like
yeah.
Okay,
whoever
yeah.
knows this guy, go get him and do
Yeah.
this.
No
or-
calls for violence. You're just basically saying, I
Yeah.
freaking hate this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's change it up a little bit. So I'm going to say, I hate you so freaking bad because you're a stupid Swedish person. Is that okay or is that hate speech?
I've
Hate speech is. I don't believe in hate speech.
But these platforms do, right? Don't
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why do they take hate speech down? That's kind of my question. Is like why is it okay to make threatening allegations if there's no real backing behind it? Like
Yeah.
let's go kill this guy because or like the cheerleaders that posted that video.
Do you want to give some context on that real quick?
Yeah, I can give some context. Okay, so a few years ago, we had just barely graduated from high school, and there were some cheerleaders at a high school.
A neighboring school.
Yeah, a neighboring
Okay, not
school
our
from
school.
us. We didn't know any of them. I have some friends that knew them, but turns out that they filmed a video. It was a stupid decision to do, and they said surgeon cuff. So they then put a reverse filter on this video, and if you say surgeon cuff with a reverse filter, it ends up saying a racial slur. So awful thing to do in the first place, and these guys posted it and made an even worse decision.
Yeah.
So they posted it, and the one person who actually distributed it was one of their good friends. And he, my source from that school tells me he did it just to get clicks. And it's so sad because he ruined these girls' life. Like
Yeah.
what they did wasn't right, but he ruined their lives. So he basically made it go viral saying, I can't believe these guys are this racist and everything. And these cheerleaders got threats against them. They weren't allowed to come to school for a while. One, because the school had to take action, suspend them. But two, it was a safety thing. They wouldn't let them go back because they were worried about getting
Attacked.
attacked or something like that. And like there were
Yeah.
people basically saying, we need to find these girls' houses. Here's the addresses.
So what was the
and
context of the racial slur?
Was it? I think it
Were
was just
there-
them being dumb, right?
it's just
Were they
them being-
just saying like random stuff to the camera, or were
Just,
they talking about getting someone, or what was?
No, it was literally just them saying surgeon cuff and then putting a reverse filter on it.
That was it.
And it was just some cheerleaders messing around in the car. Like I'm not saying what they did was right. I don't know if that's. I don't think that warrants death threats.
No,
for me.
it's called doxing. Is often what people refer to. Like if someone does something on the internet and someone else doesn't like that, and they're like, "Oh, here's this person. Here's their address. Here's where they work. Here's where they go to school." That's called doxing. I think that should be very much treated seriously and
taken very
punished
seriously.
severely.
Which the good thing is I don't normally applaud law enforcement for anything, but they did jump in and say, okay, hey, like we recommend you guys should maybe go somewhere else for a few months.
Yeah.
Go lay low. Don't go back to school for a while.
But I think if someone's doing that, like posting, this is this person, this is where I live, that is inciting violence.
Yeah, that.
That's my thought too. But no action was taken against those people that were posting that. So why can they do that to these cheerleaders that made a stupid decision?
Yeah.
But someone gets in trouble for basically calling out, we'll just say Swedes because it's easy.
Yeah.
Calls out a bunch of Swedes and says, I freaking hate Swedes. And that's hate speech. But some dude saying this is where they're at, go get them.
Yeah.
I think that's really hypocritical.
A lot of times what you'll find with social media sites, their rules are very fluid, and
Whatever.
they're not
they
concrete.
want.
They're not solid.
Yeah.
It's there are rules, but they're usually only applied if you say the wrong thing or you have the wrong view on something. If you have the correct view as pertaining to the views of the owners of said platform, you're okay. But if you go against the grain,
Or even just the workers of that platform that are,
yeah.
their job is to look for those things.
yeah,
So
that's true. That's true too.
if you think the wrong way, then you're going to be punished. But if it's, equally as racial or anything like that, but it's in the right direction, then it's fine.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me that they apply these things. Like if they are unlawful, sometimes it flies. If it's totally legal, you get banned forever for it. It just seems so backwards to me that we have. I can say, "Get away from me, you dirty Swede," in public, but if I post something similar on the internet, I'll get banned. Like, what? If I can say it in public, why can't I say it when I'm anonymous on the internet?
I want to make this clear. We all actually really like Swedish people. Swedish
Nothing
people are
against
like some of the
Swedes.
nicest people on the planet.
I like
honestly.
Swedish meatballs.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right, there you go. Yeah, that's what you do
Swedes
when
are
you're
cool.
thinking about
Yeah.
people possibly accusing you of being racist. Is immediately go to a food.
Hey, that's how I communicate, man.
dirty tomato.
Oh yeah, you do communicate via food. So like if I
The chef.
so if I wanted to say something derogatory against Italians and then recover myself, what food should I go for?
Pasta.
But pasta is like such a broad one.
That's
I want like
pasta. So I would
rigatoni.
say
Pizza.
if you do one of like the specialty pastas, you'd probably have a better bet.
Okay, like
You know.
rigatoni.
Rigatoni's not that specialty.
Um,
If you know what it is, then it's not that specialty.
or just
What
go for the sauces.
If you do it for like something like bucatini or fusilli bucatini, something like that.
you filthy chicken Alfredo,
Yeah, I'm gonna
Chicken
go with like
Alfredo.
chicken nuggets. Yeah, we're gonna
Careful
go with
with
chicken
that
nugget pasta.
chicken tendies.
Chicken tendies. Yeah, I don't know. Like that frustrates me with social
Yeah,
media, and
yeah.
I don't like how. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I see on Facebook too. That's like, oh, that Facebook is like trying to take this down. I don't think Facebook is taking down a lot of that stuff.
I think it's essentially this. I don't know what you call them. They're essentially censorship firms. They're companies that will moderate stuff for Facebook. They're paid to do it. I feel like it's a lot of those people that will take things down, not necessarily Facebook itself.
Yeah, and a lot of those posts, I think that their titles are, Facebook's been trying to take this down. I don't think Facebook takes down super kind of middle ground stuff. I just think that's a tactic to get more shares. Because it's like share before it's gone type of a deal.
I mean, yeah, but also
Yeah.
like if you go on YouTube, you'll see this, like if you post something spicy in the comments, it'll disappear. I've had that. I mean, I've seen that. Like I've seen a comment and then I've like scrolled down, I scroll back up to like reread it again and it's gone.
Yeah, but here at the Basin Show, we've also had to remove an ultra mega spicy comment. So
Which one was that? Was that me?
no.
Oh,
Some random person decided to link a porn site to our
nice.
It was horrible too, because I was just like looking at a comment and I was like, what the? And I
Yeah,
like
don't click
clicked on it
links.
and I was like, whoa. And yeah. But he's banned.
If you peruse the internet and someone posts a link with no context, don't click on it.
Learned that one the hard way.
You should have known.
Once again, don't go on 4chan. If you don't know what you're doing, don't go on 4chan. Let's get a VPN. Get a VPN.
Or just use Weber State's VPN that way.
No.
They go to Weber.
I wouldn't use Weaver State's VPN if you're gonna go on the Chan, dude.
No. Oh, so our university is doing contact tracing.
What is that?
So contact tracing is basically that if I have an in-person class, I sit in the seat, and if I get COVID, I have to like inform them that I got COVID, and then they tell the professor that I have COVID, and that professor then traces through everyone that I sat next to because they keep track of all that and everyone they sat next to, which
I'm very glad I went online then.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh,
I mean, it's precaution, but
so
less information that people know about me, usually it's the better.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's just like I don't like that much government control. You know?
Well, that's not even government. That's the school, isn't it?
No, I think a lot of it's being implemented on like a higher scale, and Fauci trying to kind of push that,
Yeah.
and other government officials trying to push contact tracing. Because I don't know. I think there's a sketchier motive behind this contact tracing. That's my thought.
They're developing technologies for this.
I think that they're using COVID as an excuse to track us a little bit better.
Oh, so
Absolutely.
they're using something scary to expand government power?
I wonder if I wonder if there's a group of people in the 1930s that know about fear and depression.
Well, it wasn't just the
being used
30s. I
against
mean,
them. I'm
that
talking.
revolution happened in the 1800s.
I'm talking about a very specific group
Me too.
that exploited fear, and there's a lot. But I'm talking about.
There was a lot of
I'm talking about the one that fell in the 90s.
Oh, you're
Did I
talking
do-
about the USSR.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about the Nazis.
Well,
The same rise to power.
it's almost
they
like
just
they're both
exploited people.
authoritarians and use the same tactics. Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy because like, isn't fascism like super right, but like
Fascism is
communism is
just-
super left?
No,
so
no,
they're
no,
so
no.
far that they're like
Fascism
on the same
is
thing.
actually more towards the middle.
It's fascism? Nah, I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Fascism is basically
Let's
you
see.
take socialism and then you drizzle a little bit of traditionalism in there. There you go. It's fascism. Because if you look at like, for example, political compass test, you look at Hitler's, he's barely right of center.
He's super authoritarian, though.
Yeah, he's super
Yeah.
up, but he's barely right of center. Like in terms of left or right.
So you're saying it's like a leader thing, not even a view part that makes the parties fall.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't like that. I don't like this expansion of kind of government power.
Also, interestingly, this is the story from August 15th, 2020, just a few days ago. Fauci says there's no reason in-person voting shouldn't be safe with masks and proper social distancing. So anytime, we need to mail-in vote. Fauci says we're okay.
Fauci said that.
I mean, we already are like more than 6 feet apart, like the voting booths anyway. Like, if we wear masks.
Not even that. I go to the store like every other day.
Yeah. You see people packed in Walmart like sardines, and that's
yeah,
fine.
well, it's because they like decrease store hours.
I honestly, I think Walmart specifically decreasing store hours. I don't think it was a COVID thing. I think it was them realizing we're not making any money between this hour and this hour.
I agree.
Why stay open? It's just a money saving thing because they're making so much more money than they were before.
Yeah.
Because all the small mom and pop shops are closed, but Walmart you can stay open. Yeah,
so
remind me how the big corporations don't like COVID.
Yeah. Or I
Yeah.
heard that the airlines are about to ask for another bailout.
Don't give it to them.
And the airlines are starting to lay people off just because they had basically signed a deal that said if they took aid, they wouldn't lay people off until a certain point, and we're coming up on that point. Like, I think it's September when they're supposed to start.
Well,
Yeah.
when are the airlines like running at this point?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're not full capacity, though.
Yeah, and very few people want to fly, and we can't really go, or people can't really come to the States. We can't leave the States. There's not a lot of countries that'll let you,
Yeah, if you do, it's like a 14-day. Like, I know Italy is like a 14-day quarantine if you come here.
Yeah. Which is fine, I guess.
Actually, I kind of don't agree with that. Okay, if coronavirus is here in
Yeah.
Utah and someone flies from Italy with coronavirus and they've quarantined for 14 days, it's already here.
Exactly. I mean,
Has it mutated at all?
oh yeah, I'm sure. I'd be surprised if it hasn't on some level. Like, I'd be surprised if it hasn't.
I've heard that it
Last
has.
I checked, there's 2 different strains.
Yeah.
But
So what if Italy has its own strain, and you're just bringing a different?
I
don't
thought
know.
it was mixed everywhere.
My thing with the whole like travel ban thing, like it's kind of a moot point now that we have it, but like I feel like it's just a good way to keep normies from freaking out. You know what I mean?
Normies,
You don't know?
like normal people.
Yeah. That's it.
It mutated just super slowly. It's 1.
Bat soup.
It swapped from an A to a G.
What does that mean?
So basically, adenine is one of the base pairs in one of them, and guanine is the one in the other. And it swapped from an A to a G.
So now it's a real G. I don't know. I don't know what these mean, man. I'm not a chemist. I'm sorry.
No, that was actually pretty funny. No, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's mutated enough to be super serious.
Yeah.
The bad part is, though, is like, if it does mutate,
We'd have to do this again.
yeah.
So do you think we'll ever hit herd immunity on some level?
Yeah.
I've heard at some point we have.
I've heard people speculate that we may have already hit it.
Yeah.
No, we haven't heard.
Or at least
yet.
in some bigger cities where they had people out all the time. We
I
may
don't
have hit it
know.
in some areas. I don't know. I've heard that. Like it. I don't think it's been long enough, but like I wouldn't be surprised.
I thought it was like 60% that you needed to get herd immunity.
Yeah. But then again, they keep saying like, "Oh, it was a non or what's the term?
Asymptomatic?
Asymptomatic. Thank you. Asymptomatic cases. You had it, but you didn't do anything different. I don't know.
The bad thing is too is like if you can catch COVID twice, which I don't know, it's a crapshoot on the research out right now because the media just gets a hold of it and they shoot it out before the scientists have actually vetted
Or
that information.
they'll publish studies that get retracted later.
Yeah, and they never tell you that it's retracted though. But so there's a rumor and I don't know, speculation that you might be able to get COVID more than once.
I heard that in the beginning.
Which that one's kind of scary because how do you make a vaccine?
That's the thing that bothers me. Like, we're not going to reopen anything until the vaccine. I'm like, dude, like.
So what? We're just going to sit in our houses for a year?
So we're just
I've
going to
heard people talk about how it's kind of like chicken pox, where it comes back later, like a shingles or something like that. That's what I've heard as well, because it's a virus.
That takes like, but like, dude, the flu's a virus. It doesn't come back. Like not every virus.
That was one of those information from Facebook things.
Yeah, it's on Facebook.
It's like Facebook should be censoring some other stuff.
Honestly, I don't think Facebook, I don't think anything should censor anything. Personally, I think if you can't do the research yourself, you deserve to believe whatever you're going to believe.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Actually, I don't know, because then we have to deal with people that are like that, you know.
You have the right to vote.
But once again, if you, yeah, it's true. I don't know. Maybe that's just me and my personal views. I want,
You want less control, more freedom.
I'm very much of the opinion that like we should educate people on what a peer-reviewed study is and where to find them. Maybe even make them easier to access, especially if it's public knowledge that the people doing the research want to release to the public. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Just tell people where they can find the studies and then, educate them enough to understand them on a base level.
Okay.
So they can form their own opinions on things. That's
so,
just my idea.
So what do you think about, should the government, with all this fake news going around of all the, people not showing sources in different publications and usually just coming up with lies, straight out lies, the way they say it, or if they're just misleading, just to mislead, should the government have any regulation on that? Because those are our sources.
That's a big brain question, and we're going to have to answer that after the break.
So we're back. Got that 25-minute limit or whatever it is.
I'm just coughing in your direction.
He's got the Rona.
Oh my God.
No, we were doing housework, so it's just dust.
Yes.
I get like allergies.
The big dust. Anyway.
Cost on the brain that time. He's like, gotta give them both the Rona.
I could feel it. What was your question again? I want to restate that.
Government limiting the media's ability to steer the public.
Honestly, I don't agree with the government controlling media at all.
So at what point, how do we hold media accountable for straight up lying to people?
It's hard. I think we gotta find we need to have a cultural shift. We need.
Good luck with that.
I know, like it's very much a utopian way of thinking, right? But I would love it if we had less people who are willing to just read something and agree with it. I wish we had more people who are inquisitive, who would read something and go, okay, cool. Where's your source?
But Braden, if you can scroll down and find another TikTok video, like we don't make, I don't know. There's not kids who do that anymore. Like kids don't click on stuff and look,
When you have like CNN, for instance, their sources are CNN.
Yeah, or they will source another news outlet. You know what I mean? Like they'll say, "Oh, we got our." It'll be like a CBS article. "Oh, we got our news from MSNBC." And it's like, okay, cool. So you have to go over there to find their source, and by the time you find the source, it's way different than what they were publishing.
Oh yeah, because MSNBC manipulated it from the primary source, and then CNN manipulates it.
Dude,
Fox News has been killing it.
They're actually, it's funny because like I remember when I was a kid, people would joke about like Fox being utter garbage, but now they're not bad.
Oh, I'm not even talking about like if they're good or not. I don't really watch the news. I read primary source just because
Yeah.
I hate the build up. The build up of like I'm this reporter or like in the recent days we've seen, I don't care. Tell me what happened. Like give me spark notes. It's just a waste
I hate
of my time.
when they try to like make a narrative at the beginning, like
Yeah.
on the night of whatever. I'm like, dude, just shut up and give me the facts, dude.
Yeah, dude, bullet points. Bam, bam, bam. Like
I want graphs. I want bullet points. I like numbers.
and I like sources.
Yes.
And you give me none of those. But anyway, like, dude, Fox News had like I think it was like 2 million views in the past month or something like that versus like MSNBC was Fox was at 2.5, MSNBC was at 2, and CNN was at 1, which made me happy.
I could be wrong. Don't quote me on this, but I believe Tucker Carlson is the most watched TV pundit.
Dude,
I like Tucker there.
Yeah.
I don't think I like Tucker, but man, he is popular right
Like
now.
I don't agree with everything.
Not everything he
has to
says.
say.
But it's always an interesting take he has on things.
Yeah.
You know, I got to give it to him, though. He's one of the few people that has a lot of influence other than like Republican politicians that really come out and say a lot of highly, highly right wing stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I always hear and has a platform for it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I hear a lot more left wing stuff on media outlets.
Yeah.
Well, he also trashes like the older Republicans, the ones that have been there forever and haven't done anything.
Dude, Tucker Carlson's like Family Guy. No one's safe. Like,
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's such a hard thing because I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if I can just blanket say, oh, it's a bunch of kids who've been taught collectivism like as an ideology, like they're just going to believe what everyone else believes or not. But I kind of feel that way sometimes, especially going to college. I look at people and I'm like listen to a professor making a statement about. Let's say you're in a chemistry class and the professor starts talking about religion or whatever, and everyone agrees with them. I'm like, no, you're here to teach me chemistry, and all you idiots sitting here agreeing with them on a subject they're not being paid to teach you. Like, why do you just assume they're right? Why do you not question it? I don't know if that's just me, but
you know, I don't know. I've got to stand up for College of Science because that's where my major's at.
right.
I think, in my experience, man, with the College of Science, there are so many times where some kid comes in and just says something so ludicrous.
Sure.
And it's just like, whoa, what? And I feel like the professors in the College of Science try to acknowledge that. And they're like, okay, well, if you saw this, maybe it's because of this. Like, I feel like there's a lot more of like a kind of understanding and middle ground, especially with the professors that I've worked with, man. They've all been really cool. I've noticed more so it's the gen ed professors that I see that stuff with.
I probably used the wrong course to explain my point and also the wrong subject, but let's say we have an
Chemistry
English
minor.
Yeah. I mean, okay, that was probably a bad example of because I forget you're a science boy, but let's say we have an English teacher who decides to push their opinion on economics. I'm paying you for a writing class. I don't care what your opinion is. But then I look around the class and they're all like, "Oh yes, this system is great." And I'm like, dude, they're an English teacher. Why should you be taking your cues from them?
Oh, I think it's a scary
Does that make
thing
sense?
too. Yeah, it does make sense because I've seen
that. I was trying to frame that before. I used a bad example, obviously, but
I don't know, because like that's something that like I just haven't seen as much in the College of Science.
Yeah.
And I think it's one because it doesn't get brought up as much. The one place that we do see it is with funding, like especially research funding, where that's kind of gone away.
Yeah,
but that's not any side's fault.
But, yeah,
that's both of them just being
that's
dumb.
different. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It probably is because I'm still in a lot of gen ed classes because I haven't chosen a major because I'm a heck.
That and your major is going to be a lot less.
Yeah, econ.
I feel like there's a lot more kind of, I don't know, like I feel like scientists don't really care as often versus like an English professor. They're in a position where they.
But
care
that is a
little
good
bit
point, though. Is the gen ed classes who tend to do that, and
which is
that's
scary because they reach the most amount of students.
Yeah, and then also it generally will tend to be the younger students, the more impressionable ones. So they're going through the rest of their college experience having these ideals that were told to them that they never questioned. Does that make sense?
No,
It
I
kind of
totally
terrifies
agree.
me.
It's scary.
And also because I'm a big fan of crowdsourcing to a point where like I like to see what people think. I'm not going to agree with it most of the time. Like I like to see what like the general opinion on something is. And it's scary to me how many people all agree on everything and they just kind of mindlessly do so.
Huh, sounds like groupthink. Huh.
I know we're committing some thought crime.
You know,
I
I don't go to college, so, but I did experience some of that in high school.
Oh, yeah, it definitely, yeah. There was some,
Which
think it's
high school
certainly-
teachers are kind of limited more so by law about what they can say as far as their political views. Still happens though. Like,
yeah. I mean, if we're going to put any law to try to fix that, I would be more, it's probably the one of the few times I'm going to say, I want a law saying that you don't talk about politics or religion in classes. Just don't. If it's not the subject matter, don't. I would be 100% okay with that. And usually I'm free speech all the way. Like that's one of the few times I'm like, if you're teaching an English class, teach English. That's it.
Because you have these, professors that are highly regarded. They have, oh, this guy's so smart. Maybe we should all listen to him about everything.
Which I don't know. And I think there's a lot to gain from an English teacher branching out and talking about the fine points of economics. Because like, I think that's a lot of like, that's a sign of being really educated, is taking what you learn in one field and expanding it to another.
Sure.
But I don't think that in the process of doing that, you should enforce your ideology on the kids.
Exactly.
You know, I think you could be like, there's some people that think this, other people think this. What's your opinion? And make them like think of an idea on their own.
Yeah. Like I know for me, that was not a good way to start the sentence. Most of the teachers that I respect the most are the ones who will present multiple viewpoints on something, but I can never tell where they stand. Like, for example, if it's like nature versus nurture, if they can present both in an excited manner and in good detail to a point where I can't tell where they personally stand, I respect that a lot.
It's because no one knows.
Yeah. I mean, that was a good example because no one knows, but like some people do lean one way.
So what's
some people
nature
lean the other.
versus nurture?
I'll get it. So
Okay,
nature versus nurture is like, so nature is just kind of what you're born with. So basically your genetics are going to determine how you develop and who you kind of develop to be. So nurture then comes into play of like, even though this guy's dad was like a horrible, like alcoholic, like burned up village down or something, I don't know. If I give him proper nurturing, that's going to outweigh that nature of whatever this guy was supposed to be. And my nurturing is going to be more influential than what he was born with, basically.
Or like the extremes would be like you are bound by your genetics, you can never be better. Or you have people on the other side who say every human being's a blank slate.
Yeah, which there was a developmentalist that he used to say like, give me a dozen babies and I'll make them a dozen of whatever you want. And I don't know. I have an adopted little brother and I don't think it's like that.
No. I think there's a balance. I don't know.
I agree.
I don't know what ratio necessarily, if it's like 60-40 or whatever. I don't know what. I don't know. But I think there is definitely a mix.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you have people like, I know, like you might have genes that make you more prone to skin cancer, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't nurture that out of somebody.
Yeah.
And also there's families that have higher risks of anxiety or higher risks of depression in general.
Yeah, but
then, obviously, like in America, we have high rates of depression and things like that, but we're also one of the highest standards of living at the same time. So
yeah,
I mean,
has the highest standard of living.
I mean, we're up there. We're definitely up there. There's no way we're not up there. I don't know if we're the best, but we're top 5 at the very
I
least.
don't think we're top 5 even.
Really? Do we have
according to
so
what
much? Yeah,
it's just
it depends on the metric, but like, do we have so much?
It's I can't remember what reading it is. It's Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, Austria, Denmark, Canada, and Finland.
Doesn't Sweden have like the most like explosions of any like first world country?
Sweden?
Yeah.
explosions.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna double check that, but I remember hearing a stat that like
Yeah, apparently, the Scandinavian nations have really high standards of living.
They're super rich.
Yeah.
they make most of their money on weapons, weapon sales internationally. They have a very small.
They rank
overall
higher than us
population.
on the what's it called? Oh, I'm freaking blanking. It's the measure of regulation in the marketplace. So their market is actually less regulated than ours. The freedom scale. I think it was some kind of freedom scale.
They also have
really?
no minimum
Economic
wage.
freedom scale. That's what it was.
Wow.
Yeah, Sweden acts their minimum wage. Yeah, dude, let the free market take care of that, dude.
So the United States apparently ranks 15 on that list.
Really? Well, that's cool because I can say bad words in public in the States and not get thrown in jail for 30 years. So, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Do you get thrown in jail for swearing in Finland?
I don't know about Finland, but I know like Sweden has hate speech laws. UK has hate speech laws.
Which is so weird because they're apparently super racist against like immigrants.
It depends on the individual, I'm sure.
Sweden?
Yeah, like they have a
They're
reputation.
very what's it called? There's like one race. Yeah.
homogenous. Yeah.
But they also have like, here, there in 2016, there were about 40 hand grenade attacks in Sweden alone. Like
Where the hell do you
grenades.
get hand grenades?
I don't know.
So they let a lot of refugees in. I think that's where they're having the problems.
and a lot of them,
That's what I've heard as well.
and a lot of them tend to be military-aged men. From what I've heard.
Yeah. So they were very one race until they started changing their
They were, very homogenous.
immigration laws, and they let a lot of refugees in.
Huh. So I wonder who pushes an agenda to let in a lot of refugees in Europe. I wonder what group does this.
Hey, now, you gotta be careful. You gotta be real careful about what you say next, mate.
Who you calling out, bro?
Oh, calling out the European Union again.
Yeah. Oh, it's the EU. Screw the EU.
Yeah.
I was
not saying,
worried.
like-
I was really worried where you were gonna go for a second. I was like, oh no.
No,
I know what who's calling out for that here.
Yeah, I was like, ooh, I know where this meme goes, and I'm kind of scared.
No, I actually don't know what group is calling out for refugees in the United States right now.
I don't know. We'll talk about it later.
The D word.
We'll talk. We'll talk off camera. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Anyway, no, yeah, it's just the European Union, which I'm not saying like taking in refugees is a bad thing, but Europe's just swamped right now.
I
It's
still
really
hold the
sad.
opinion that the EU is just Germany taking over Europe by other means.
I don't think you're wrong. That or Greece just continuing to drain the economy of all of
Greece.
Europe.
Oh, Greece. How far the mighty have fallen. Anyway.
You were great once, Greece.
You make Greece great again.
So I have a friend that lives in Italy, and she was really wanting to come back to the States.
Oh, I bet.
And then she saw this happen. She's just like, maybe I don't want to come back to the States. Yeah. Which, I mean, they're only seeing the worst of it there, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Just
I mean,
come to
we're-
Utah. That's not really a big problem here.
yeah, she
for
can
the
come
most part.
back. But other people that want to come to Utah, maybe don't.
Yeah, don't. Actually, you know what?
I love Utah, but like, I feel like people that come in from the outside have a tendency of wanting to change it. Don't change it. I really like how Utah is.
Yeah,
like, we have a weird social dynamic.
We
but-
existed here before you do. Don't show up in my hometown and demand things change. Like, no, we were here before you. Get bent. Go to Colorado.
I hope that no Native Americans come up and tell me to get bent because they were here before me.
Well, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
But like, I'm here now. Okay, that is an interesting debate. Is like, if you have a group of people who took over land from another, and then we're like 5 or 6 generations in, is it then ethical to tell the people who are 6 or 8 generations in they need to leave because they didn't choose to be put there, but they are there, and that's all they've ever known.
So all the people with Neanderthal blood, should they just kick everyone out of Europe?
Wait.
Neanderthal?
What?
Yeah, Neanderthal. So the Homo sapiens came up from Africa and breeded with Neanderthals in Europe, and that made like super Viking people, right? So everyone that has Neanderthal blood, technically they're there first.
I don't know if I'd agree with that.
I disagree with it too, but that's the point you're making.
Kind of, yeah.
I feel like it's a little bit different because a lot of that wasn't established civilization yet. A lot of that was
kind
like,
of, but
kind
also
of nomad
like
groups.
I mean, that's the same thing with Native Americans.
one group did.
No, they did. They managed the lands a lot more than I actually thought they did.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make is like we, as a current people, like a lot of everybody here who was born here, like we didn't choose that.
No, yeah,
it had
we
nothing to do with anything that happened before. Like I'm just here. Like, is it right to tell me I need to leave my home essentially because somebody in the
So,
past did something.
I mean,
don't
at this
know.
point, everyone that's Native American is here the same amount of time as everyone else is there, right?
Well, okay, assuming you have two people, one who's native and one who's any other race, born on the
Same
same
age.
day. Yeah, they both have been there the same amount of time, I guess, if you look at it that way. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I just think it's an interesting conundrum.
I don't like the idea of going back in history and try to change or make up for it.
Yeah.
Let's just start here. We're
Yeah,
here
yeah,
right now.
yeah.
Let's move forward. Let's do it better.
Yeah, like
But like,
It's kind of like you crash a car and then say, I'm going to bring it back and undo that accident. It's like you can't you can't undo that.
but you can learn from it and make sure that the accident doesn't happen next time.
Exactly. And
so history is good because you can learn from it. History is not meant to be there and be taught just to change it. Make up for it. You're not making up for history. You're learning from history.
Okay, so here's another thing I want to ask. Is it ethical to view history with your current beliefs or view system? Is it ethical to judge people in the past with your current views?
That's tough.
Personally, I mean, I don't remember who said it, but it's like, if you are unkind to those in the past, odds are people in the future will be unkind looking at you, right? Or something to that effect. I'm butchering the quote, I'm sure.
So you're talking about like Thomas Jefferson owning slaves and things
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, like, is it, or not even that, like,
Like almost conquering nations.
Yeah,
like
conquering nations thing.
ideology.
Like if you
But
look
yeah.
at like the wars between Britain and France, like they always fought over Normandy, right? Is it right to view either of those people with? Is it right to judge them poorly by your current modern viewpoints? Is it right to because they didn't have the same value system that we do? Is it right to condemn them?
The bad part is it falls into like a different value system though,
Yeah.
you know? Because like them fighting over ground and like killing each other, we see that as just kind of going to war with each other and just warring countries. But
Yeah,
like,
barbaric, but to
but
them,
like the act of like owning people, I think for some reason that strikes a different chord.
yeah,
You know, and like it's I don't know, like slavery, it just seems like slavery kind of falls into like a completely different category. And for some reason, Native American, like us taking, like the Europeans taking all their land, that for some reason falls into a completely different category, even though that's the same type of wars that they had in Europe.
yeah,
You know, like I don't understand.
or even
why
Native
it's-
Americans fighting each other over land.
That one is viewed completely different.
Yeah, it's
like,
weird to me how like they the value systems they apply to it are totally different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't know which value system we should apply to it.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
what we
know.
did, yeah, like if there were still parts of the world that we hadn't discovered, I'd hope that we wouldn't go basically pillage and kick everyone out.
Right.
You know, based on our value system now. But I don't know if I can go back and condemn these guys for an ideology that I wasn't there for.
Yeah, or you currently benefit from the evolution of their ideology in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
I don't know. At some point, if you're in their situation, you're probably gonna do the same thing.
I think I'd agree. Yeah.
Like, for instance, this is kind of controversial. If I was a white guy in
If
Nazi Germany in the army, I would be a Nazi.
Okay. Not necessarily. Are you in the army or the SS?
What's the difference?
the army was just the military, the SS was like the
special
Nazi
bodyguard for the
yeah,
military.
they would go out of their way to like they were the ones who were hunting down Jewish people. They
Yeah.
were the ones who were running the concentration camps.
Because one, you're a party member, and one, you might be a party member
yeah,
type of a deal.
I mean, at some point, like you would say, "Oh, I wouldn't do those things," but there's studies after studies that you probably would have. Every person has a dark side to them, and whether they they fall into
Milgram
that.
experiment.
yeah. Is that the one?
Yeah.
With
Yes.
the
The voltage.
Yeah,
Yeah. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the Milgram experiment, they basically, it was in like the 50s or 60s. Or
I believe they had
70s.
actors too. It wasn't actual.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
they had actors basically come in, and then they had people off the street that they'd pull in. Each one of them had to draw a card, a learner or a teacher, and they made it so the actor every time, so the guy who was paid, got the role of learner. The teacher then basically had to go man a switchboard, which was basically set up with a number of different switches at different volts that it displayed. And at the very end, it got to a certain number of volts that it marked as deadly. That basically every time you did that, you'd kill the guy. So they'd have the teacher read out prompts of like, say these words back to me in this order, some weird type of prompt, and they'd have the actor mess it up on purpose. And every time he got it wrong, they'd shock him and they'd move it up one along the scale so it got more intense. The actor, of course, wasn't being shocked. He was just acting.
That's why they hired actors.
Yeah.
So they don't have to actually hurt anybody.
Yeah, and it would get to the point where they basically.
You mean you don't actually have to be shocked to be an actor?
Well,
To be in a movie? So
I ask my opinion of what is real. Just kidding, I'm kidding.
Anyway. So they found that that they'd get to the point where if they kept shocking this guy, they'd get to past the lethal point, and the guy would stop screaming and begging for it to stop to basically act like he was dead.
Yeah.
And they'd keep shocking.
Yeah.
And they found it was about 65 to 70% of the people in this experiment were people that would have actually went through and killed someone. And the main reasoning behind it was there was a guy that told me to in a lab coat. And that's scary because the reason they did this was to know why so many Germans killed so many Jews, just because there was a guy in a coat telling them to.
Once again, it's an authority thing, and it's people who don't ever question it. They just believe someone's in a white coat. They must, someone's a professor. They must be right.
Yeah.
I think it's just scary that a large amount of people who don't question things.
Yeah. They did the experiment again, and the only reason they were able to do it again is because they did it under the guise of entertainment in Britain, because you can get away with doing that to someone who's in entertainment for the purposes of entertainment.
Yeah.
Versus you can't do it for learning anymore. But they found that it was kind of similar. And an interesting part of that episode was they found that musicians were kind of the oddball branch of they normally wouldn't kill the person, and it's just because they're kind of
free thinkers.
Yeah, they're free thinkers. But it's
Yeah.
Also, that experiment messed some people up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Like that was,
especially if you thought you killed somebody, you know.
I think afterwards they'd let you know that you didn't, but it was for a lot of people the psychological trauma of like, oh my god, I just killed someone. I would have killed someone if some guy told me.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so crazy, man.
So going back to looking at history with the lens of today,
Yeah.
I don't think that it is right.
Yeah.
Because back in times of slavery, it was normal to have a slave. That was normal.
It was.
It wasn't normal. Most families didn't own a slave.
Yeah.
No one was wealthy. Like the majority of the United States was not wealthy enough to own a slave.
Yeah, the thing that drives me crazy, especially like looking back on history, is like people who talk about the American Civil War, they say everyone in the South, they were pro-slavery. Like, no. There's a lot of people who fought in the South because they lived there. They fought because they lived there. It was very much of like, well, I live here, I want to defend my home kind of thing. For North or South, there were pro-slavery people who fought for the North. There were anti-slavery people who fought for the South. It was just.
Wasn't Robert E. Lee anti-slavery?
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
I'm pretty sure he was. That's what I've heard. You should probably, Google.
Fact check that.
Give that a hard Google.
I've seen a lot of those representatives of the South back then. They actually switched to Republican at that time, which is at the time was the anti-slavery party.
So
after the war,
let's see here.
Yep, described as anti-slavery, but he opposed civil or racial equality for African Americans.
Yeah.
So
he was racist, but he didn't think we should own him.
What?
Like I said, like everyone else in the North.
Yeah. Yeah. So he was anti-slavery, but he wasn't quite on the whole racial equality thing yet.
Yeah, and I don't know. The Civil War was a horrible war, man.
Oh, it's brutal. Yeah, but I don't know. It's just that framing of like, oh, they were all bad. They were all pro-slavery kind of bothers me. It's like you're applying blanket terms onto people that you have no idea for their reasonings.
Yeah, that and I don't know. I think that war was a lot more politically based than anti-slavery than people think.
Yeah,
people just think it was a war to end slavery, but it was more of a voting. And power.
Another point I hear a lot too is like in World War II, how many war crimes were committed by the U.S. that were never talked about because it was socially acceptable to do those things. You know what I mean? Especially with like the Japanese and stuff.
Yeah, there's no Nuremberg trials for the Americans.
Yeah, like, is it right to view even the American side as being wholly good if things like that had the potential of happening?
Completely no.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that happened. I have no idea, but like the potential for that is there. If that makes sense.
We obliterated a whole city.
2 of them, actually.
2 whole cities. Obliterated.
We obliterated more too.
We actually killed more people with napalm in World War II.
Well,
in Japan.
Actually, I don't know if we killed more people with napalm in Vietnam. I don't know.
No, in Japan in World War II. They dropped fire bombs on Japan before they
that's not
nuked it.
napalm though. That's just incendiaries.
Oh, is it not?
No, it's
okay.
different for
Well,
some reason. I don't know how it works.
Maybe
but
this is a
it's different.
colloquial thing, calling it napalm, but they were fire bombs.
Yeah.
We killed more people because like a lot of wood houses, obviously, it's the 30s. A lot more people died in like those fires than died from the nuclear explosions.
Yeah, but it was just the show of force that. Which honestly, it's probably a good thing that they did drop the bombs because there's a lot of historians that argue if they would have kept fighting, the Japanese fought with such intensity and like basically grit.
And just tenacity, they wouldn't give up.
Yeah, that they so many
To the
more
bitter
people
end,
would have
right?
died
Yeah,
on
I
both
mean,
sides.
you look at kamikaze pilots, like,
Yeah.
oh, I ran out of bullets. Time to use my plane. Like,
yeah.
geez, how do you not like do that without being like super dedicated? Like that is insane to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
is.
I'm not saying it's good, but I'm like, man, I respect their tenacity, man.
I don't think you see that as much anymore. Like, I don't know.
Anyways, we got to take a break.
Yeet.
We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we all just had that face of what
Cold
were
start.
we talking about? Yeah.
We're all back. Also, I'm gonna hide this for later. Yeah, we got caught up talking about like Hans Zimmer or something for a while. I don't know what we were talking about before. I totally forgot.
We were talking about
I don't know.
history.
History. Oh yeah, why it's unfair to, or potentially unfair to judge people in the past based on your current moral system.
I think it's a little bit unfair to judge their ancestors too. I think that's even taken it a step further because I don't believe in the same morals that my great grandfather did.
I don't. Yeah. I also hate how you condemn an entire group of people based on their characteristics. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna blame somebody like, oh, Derek, you're terrible because people from certain country did thing, and you're like, but like I'm.
Are you talking
part
about the mafia?
Italian.
Maybe talking about the mafia.
Sure. Like if I were to try to condemn Derek for like something the mafiosos did, and Derek's like, dude, I'm only like part Italian. Like what? It just seems kind of silly to me. I don't know. It's probably a bad example.
I think
it's
it was
just reaching.
18%. 18% Italian.
Ugh,
I'm so German.
25% Great Britain.
so German.
Have you had the test?
I don't know,
Just that
dude.
gen-
Are you
Technology.
scared to give the government or private
Companies
company your DNA?
Nah, it's easy enough to get.
I mean, if they really want it,
They're gonna get it.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't really care. I'm more scared to give the company like $40 or whatever it is. That's just a lot of money.
That's
It's
true.
it's like $60 on a sale.
What is it called?
Yeah, nah.
Owns history. I am 3% black.
3% black.
So parts of Africa. So I am pretty much every color of the rainbow, except Asian.
And
That's like one of the most important colors.
Yeah, well, not that one.
I mean, at least you're not trying to get into who is it? Yale, discriminating against Asians, white people too, but mostly Asians.
Yeah.
You guys hear about this?
Yeah, I heard
I
about
heard
it. That's
about it.
definitely a thing.
Okay, so the ancestry DNA test. Want to know how much it is? $100.
On a sale, it goes down to 60 though.
I can't spend $60 on
I
that.
don't. I don't care what I am. It doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's cool. Mostly because I knew it was going to be a cool mix.
Yeah. Like for people who are interested in it, it's cool. But like, I'd be more interested in just getting a test to see like what cancers I'm prone to.
They do that too.
Oh, do they?
On Ancestry?
The Ancestry Health. You see that one right there? It's a little more expensive.
It's
But
$180.
yeah.
I'll get the cancer.
Okay, I mean, I'll get it either way. I just want to know what it's going to be.
You were outside in the sun.
No, I wore sunscreen all the time.
Okay, good.
Really?
My wife
I
is
did.
horrible at it.
She's so ginger though.
I'm sure she.
I know.
just
We'll be
burns.
walking outside. We were going to Lowe's today, and she's like, I can feel my skin burning.
It's weird. Like if you're pretty white, you can feel your skin start to burn. Like I can feel it. Like I know the minute that I'm like,
If she has a conversation too long and stands in one direction while the sun's like on one side of her, she'll be like halfway burned.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah, I'm not that
ridiculous.
bad.
I haven't had a sunburn in years. I don't remember the last time I had a sunburn. I just tan.
Whenever I'm around water is about the only time I'll burn.
Yeah, the reflective surface helps, but like just walking around, like I just tan.
Yeah, I don't burn.
If I don't put on sunscreen, I burn.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I know I will say I am tanner on my left
So-
side
Well,
from
I do better
driving.
in
I
cold
have-
weather than you do.
Well, that's true. I
What?
do
I
better
said-
in hot weather.
I said I do better in the cold weather than
Oh yeah, it's true.
You are freaking like resilient too. That's not even like a racial thing. That's like legit.
I'm
Like,
pretty. Yeah,
Kelton
but like,
is
dude, it
freaking-
gets above like 80 degrees and I just whine.
Yeah.
constantly.
Like, I am very much the same boat, dude. I would rather be in negative 10 degree weather than in 90 degree weather.
I don't know. If
I
Any day of
agree.
the week.
I totally agree. With
No.
Yeah.
See,
I hate the heat.
I will never complain about it being summer because I hate winter.
Dude, I love it, dude. I'm all about that snow.
you. So good.
I'm, part Guatemalan. I'm freaking tropical, dude.
I know. I know.
See, I'm not tropical.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I know that I have a lot of Scandinavian ancestry. So like, yeah, dude, bring on the snow, bud.
Better bring on the Brits.
No, I'm gonna come to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
Anyway, and then I'm gonna sell you some nice furniture.
So, you guys heard the theory of why people are different colors, right? Because of UV rays,
Yeah, it's just
all
UV.
that. So you think that it's not just skin color? You think it has to do with like acclimation?
I mean, I'm
abilities?
sure there are other like climate-based adaptations human beings would take depending on where they are geographically. I'm sure some people retain heat better, some people disperse heat better.
Size is a big thing too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
people
that's-
get a
has a
little
lot to
bit
do with size.
taller as they get.
Like
Further
my mom's always cold. That has to do with women are generally always cold too. So interesting. So back in like old fashioned Japan, the women weren't allowed to make the sushi because their hands were too cold. And they wouldn't warm the fish properly.
You have to warm the fish while
And
making sushi.
with body, it's supposed to be blood temperature. In all technicality, it's supposed to be blood temperature. When you're like making the nigiris,
He is
know
the chef. Just
you know what nigiri
I did
is.
not know that.
You know what nigiri is?
No.
It's
Yes.
just like the rice ball with the fish on top.
it's like a slab of
I
fish.
thought
on
that
a
was a
rice ball.
sushami or sushimi.
Sashimi is just fish.
Just fish? Oh,
So
okay.
sushi literally means with rice.
With rice? Okay. And sushimi's just fish?
Just fish.
Oh, okay.
It's sashimi, not sushi.
But the Canadians pronounce it sushimi on Letterkenny. So I
It's
might
not a
stick with
Canadian word, Kelton.
that. I can change their culture if I want. I can modify it. It's okay to
It's
do
like
it to American.
burritos
Well, it's
or
okay to do that to like American
nachos.
cultures. So like, why can't we do it to other cultures?
yeah.
Well,
But that's interesting. Like burrito, I don't think is actually Mexican.
I don't think it is either.
I don't know, man. There's a
Nachos
lot.
definitely aren't.
There are a lot of like foods. Like we'll say like, oh, it's Mexican food, it's Chinese food, but it's very Americanized. Like fortune cookies, very American.
Bro, a
Most of-
burrito is Mexican.
It is Mexican. Is that
okay, it's
according to
also
what?
street vendor in Mexico. Dude, that's like as burrito authentic as it gets.
I know tacos are definitely. Oh no, tacos. Tacos are very definitely
Like taquitos.
taquitos or
That might be.
flautas.
Are taquitos American?
Taquitos, I don't know.
It just means small taco, right?
Well,
Like
taquitos
Ito-
are really kind of rolled tacos.
Isn't like Ito demote?
Yeah, it's
denote
small. It means
Kinda
small.
Like Chen in German.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't
H.
know.
Like Brotchen.
I'm not
Yeah.
Mexican, so I don't know.
It's true.
Thinking of that, you know how annoying it is when people are like, they look at you. Oh, he's Mexican,
Yeah.
because that's the only brown culture there is that people know about.
It's kind of a thing with like any person who's black in the United States too. Is like, oh, he's African American. You're like, maybe he's like from Africa.
He's not even American
Or
Yeah,
maybe he's
not even
Haitian.
American. Yeah,
Yeah.
or maybe he's like British.
or Jamaican.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Jamaican. That's
Yeah.
another one that people forget about in the States, especially like where we're at. But
We're pretty, I don't know.
yeah, we're pretty white bread up here. There's not.
No, it's mostly white and Hispanic.
Yeah, a lot of Hispanics, but
So in Kansas, which is interesting, there's a lot of Somalians. So when I was in Kansas, I lived in a small town called Spearville. It was outside of Dodge City. So like, get the heck out of Dodge.
yeah,
That city. There was a lot of Somalians, which was really interesting in the middle of the Midwest.
Apparently, there's a lot of them in like Minnesota area as well.
You think it has to do with the factories? I think so. A lot of them worked in the meat plants.
I mean, I would imagine people are gonna tend to go to where jobs are It would make sense if they
Yeah.
were congregating.
So there was a
around
lot of
job centers.
There's a lot of Hispanics. Like
Yeah.
mostly it was Hispanic in Dodge City, and then a lot of Somalians just randomly.
Oh, was it Burns? Is it Burns? Is that the name of that town? I've talked about it before. Yeah, it's Burns. Yeah, Burns is a city in Oregon. It's like mostly Mexican people and then Russians.
Oh, that's scary.
And I mean actual Russians. Like, yeah. I probably talked about it before, but yeah, no, like Burns is weird.
It just makes sense, with people doing, with immigration. You just go where. You might have a cousin in this city,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they all flock there. That's why
Yeah.
you see like lots of German towns in Northern America.
Yeah, it was very much like that. Or
Pennsylvania in that area.
yeah, I mean, or like the Dakotas were very like Scandinavian.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of why their accent is the way that it is.
And obviously Utah, we know what we're known for.
Well, I mean, that's more of like a religion ideology thing rather
Yeah.
than like a.
Oh, you got
The
the
Holy Road West.
what's it? The Bible Belt in the South.
Yeah.
So, quick update on why you should not use Wikipedia as a source. I looked up population dynamics in the United States and like kind of the distribution of the different ethnicities. So 89% of the state is white and European, 13% is Hispanic, and then 1.7 Native or Asian, 1.3 is Asian. So anyway, if you add up all these numbers, that's way more than 100%.
Yeah.
Once again, find an
Utah?
informed source.
Yeah. Wikipedia is no bueno.
Yeah, I agree.
But the FBI statistics are the same thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know, man.
You got to figure out a better way to do that.
I don't know that there's like a accurate way to do that.
Well, I know on like any job application I fill out now, you have to I have to check non-Hispanic Caucasian.
You have to do that when you're buying a firearm too, which really weirds me out.
I opt
You have
out.
to choose a race. Yeah.
I opt out when I do that,
Do you?
unless it's a medical thing. But I opt out
Why?
because it's a stupid thing. I hate it.
Okay.
It
Can't get mad about that.
has nothing to do with anything. You don't need to know what color I am.
I don't think I've ever opted out. Have you opted out before?
Probably.
Have you?
Probably just because, like, I mean, screw you guys. Like, I'm probably in the same boat. I'm like, I don't see why it matters. Like, screw you. Like,
A lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm pretty much everything.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I could
that's a
say
pain in the
white.
butt.
I could say non-Hispanic. I could say Hispanic. I could say
But Derek, you
Native
could use that
American.
to-
I could say,
You could use it to your advantage and get like hella scholarships, dude.
I could. That college up there that gave me a scholarship.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
if I ever went to college.
Yeah.
That's stupid though. I dislike that.
I think another good episode topic would be, is college worth it?
We'll talk about that. Yeah, that's a good one for later. We'll do that later. That's actually really
What about affirmative action? That's
good. Yeah.
I think it's
I
on
don't
more
even know
harm.
if I want to talk about that one. That one's such a headache.
that one's I mean, I think I know where both of you stand on it. I know where Derek stands on this one.
I'm very.
I don't know if we can touch that. I don't know if I'm confident yet.
I'll give you a pass.
Like, you can't just give them a pass.
I can't.
What I'm trying to say, I think we should not touch it yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
We're not
you're
ready
right.
for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. I just don't think it's a good idea.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
So we were going to talk about dreams to begin with.
Yeah. We want to talk about. Yeah. That's right.
Okay. Then we decided just to do a.
Dude, you wanted to talk about dreams. We'll talk about heckin' dreams, dude.
Okay.
Talk about some dreams for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So lately, in the past few months, I'd say probably beginning of since like March or February, probably like pandemic time.
So dad stress dreams.
Yeah, it's just true. Not even that though. I've been having at least every other week during my days off where I can sleep in a little bit. I've been having lucid dreams.
Nice.
I've had them before, but these are not normal lucid dreams. Like I've been waking up, and I tell my wife what I dreamed about, and she's like, "What the freak's wrong with you?"
Give us an example.
So here's one example.
All right.
I don't know what it means or anything like that, but so basically, the way I dream first off is in first person shooter mode.
So
Okay.
like from your current viewpoint,
My last dream actually had this.
Isn't that how most people dream?
I've
Some people say they do it third person, kind of.
I don't have
I've
dreams
never
like
dreamed in
hardly
third
at all.
person.
So I have
So-
no idea.
So I can go. I'm in first person, okay. And sometimes I actually have the Minecraft up and down on the side, like the mobile, and I'm actually pushing that to maneuver in my dream.
I'm gonna buy you an Xbox controller so you can attach it to your phone.
When's your birthday? It's in like a couple months, right?
December.
We'll get you an
birthdays.
Xbox controller.
Birthday boy next week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
Whose that is?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Newsflash, it's both of us.
Continue.
So, first person, okay. It was basically Hogwarts. We went to
But with Minecraft controls.
Minecraft controls, and it wasn't in England.
Dude, that's
it was
like
actually
so
in,
much
the
copyright
woods.
violation.
It's
So-
great if you can do it.
It was okay. So I'm basically there's select students. It wasn't like wizardry. It was like actually abilities, kind of like X-Men. Like people, like kids had abilities that were magical, but it wasn't like wizard. It was something kind of mixed like that. So
Wait, this is a lucid dream?
this is a lucid dream, okay?
Dude,
so
the
this
lucid
is
dreams I have, I control everything.
so this is how my lucid dreams work. I'll have a setting, and then I'll be able to maneuver myself whatever I want to do within that setting, like a
With
realm,
your Minecraft controls
like a realm.
on Minecraft?
Mind Sorcery Academia.
So, so we all have these powers, kind of thing. We're all learning to use them and stuff, and basically we're getting us ready to fight some evil. Okay, some kind of evil. Okay, and there's this bear that keeps killing kids in the woods because we're in the woods. Okay, and there was a spot where, like the mansion or whatever.
Is this like a reoccurring dream where you have the
No.
same one?
No, this is
Have you ever killed
this
the
is
bear?
a super long dream I had, and I
Okay.
kept like sleeping, waking up and going back into it.
Take drugs. Kill a bear.
Okay, this bear was killing kids, and
Yeah.
the X-Men mansion was there, where we were doing
I
all
thought it
of
was
our
Hogwarts.
whatever the heck it was.
Just keep going.
But it was kind of like a mix. That's what I'm saying. So it was kind of a mix. It was the X-Men mansion, but it was like magical in the woods.
Continue.
Okay. So this bear kept telling people we were at a different spot, and there was kind of like a urban area. We had to hop a fence because the bear was coming, and we climbed this building to get away from the bear.
You climbed a building?
Yeah.
So
As
it's
you
easier to climb a building than take on a
Well,
bear.
I was
if
just
you're
using the
super-
up
Doing the
button.
big old bear?
I was just using the up button, like if I was in a.
The auto jump?
So like you're
Yeah.
like climbing the vines like
Yeah,
that?
it's just like. So,
oh, no.
so the bear went around. So it was me and some kids that were on top of the building, and there was two just hiding around the corner of the building, just because they couldn't climb for some reason. It was two girls, and the bear went around the fence and went around back to that corner there where the kids were hiding, the girls were hiding, but it wasn't a bear. It was a woman, kind of like it looked like when Katara was dressing up as the woman
lady?
Yeah, the painted lady, kind of like that. Okay,
a
so
great
it was
episode.
so basically we found out it was a shapeshifter of some kind of evil force. It shapeshifted and killed everyone. So
It's like the guy from The Hobbit.
I don't know, I haven't seen the
It's
Hobbit.
a skinwalker. Sorry, keep going.
So it shapeshifted, and just came up to these girls, right? And the girls like looked at it and they recognized it. And then it went to a flashback of when we were all at a parade, running through a crowd, and there was the same like outfit, but the person under the veil was like a bear face, the face of a bear, and we all ran away from it. So we realized it was the same thing. So they realized that, and they were like, "Oh crap, we gotta run!" And as soon as they did, it slashed their throats
As a bear or a lady?
as a lady with some kind of
Bare hands.
yeah, it's a magical thing. So it slashed their throats, and they killed them. So we got away from it.
Did it
but-
make the oof sound?
No, it was like more of a like super like corny like sword noise.
So like when you like knife a zombie on World at War or something like that.
Just a stock footage noise, basically.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So later on, the big battle comes. Like those are how my dreams are. Is like a video game, like start to finish. So the big battle comes. We're all flying around. I'm using my up button and stuff.
You know what?
And we're fighting this
Wait,
thing.
so you're flying?
So
you're like in Minecraft creative mode? You couldn't kill a bear?
Dude, it's a skinwalker.
It was.
You couldn't kill a skinwalker?
It
in
had lots of
creative mode?
powers. Okay, so at the end of it,
But you're in creative mode.
we're in like a city, and we're like shooting it with our lightning and crap.
You had lightning and you
we're
couldn't kill
freaking
this
wizards,
thing?
bro.
So not only did you have creative like God mode on, and you were like, gotta run away and let this bear kill these.
We didn't have any weapons on us.
Guys, you know what?
We weren't ready. We were students.
I don't feel bad about not having dreams anymore. I'm okay with that. All right, guys. Let's see if we can make this sentence without laughing really hard. What if we're in a simulation, right?
Okay.
Right now?
And dreams are just the loading screens.
I hope not.
So, let me finish, okay?
Oh my gosh, it's not done?
No. So we're fighting this thing, right?
Okay.
And it turns into like we just keep shooting with like our energy. It was like Eldritch Blast in D&D, okay? Some people
we
would
need
know.
to call that guy.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about that. Yeah.
whatever, right? And it turns into a book. That was its last form. It was like
A book.
like its giant book. It unraveled.
Like the
into this-
Necronomicon?
something like that.
Okay.
Okay. And then it crumbled up and imploded. And then
Nice.
another one came. And then I woke up.
Another book?
Another shapeshifter.
Okay.
Evil shapeshifter. Like it was reincarnated of some sort.
Yeah,
So that was how it ended.
Because knowledge is power.
So-
The book had the most power.
So they say that dreams are, for your mind to, make sense of your life and
Yeah.
the day and give you insight or whatever.
So,
I don't
Derek, are there any women who can sometimes be a bear who are a great person in your life?
I'm just so, like, you and I looked at each other and I'm like, he's thinking the same thing. Like,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Melissa. Don't be angry. I'm just joking. Please. Don't be angry.
Well, she's got like pregnant hormones and she's been super ornery
whoa,
lately.
we've got to edit this. Oh, I got to make a note. 20 minutes into the last
She knows.
Please do like the that tone when like on movies when the TV cuts out and it's just like that solid tone.
And you can see us talking.
Yeah, just do
Yeah.
that, please. Jeez.
No, I love my wife.
No one questioned that. Whoa.
I never said you didn't.
Yeah.
I was just making a joke.
She knows. I tell her. I tell
Maybe
her
that's
things.
part of the problem. It's like
No, let me tell you about relationships, bro.
Okay,
As someone that's
please.
been in a relationship for 6 years now with the same woman,
That's pretty good. It's like
I married that woman.
I'm sorry.
We've been married for almost 3 years now. Okay.
Okay.
Communication, whether it's going to hurt their feelings or not, is always better. Because if you leave things,
Unsaid.
stones unturned, they'll get bigger. Your emotions will bottle up, and as soon as the bottle breaks, all hell breaks loose at that point.
So here's what you do, kids. You don't do relationships.
Do
Then you have no stones to overturn. You just have a nice field in which you can enjoy.
evolution says to do the opposite of that.
Yeah, I know. I'm a genetic dead end. Let me live my life, Karen.
What'd you just call me?
Karen.
Oh, okay. I thought you called me Darren for a minute. I was
No,
like,
I
what?
said Karen, but yeah, I'm just kidding.
I got the hair.
Do what you want.
No, that's really like if you're gonna be in a relationship, it's honesty is the best thing. Like you just gotta be honest.
I respect that. Actually, that's actually kind of cool that you can do
Yeah.
that without her getting too angry.
I think couth
Or
is
are you
also
getting
important.
offended?
It's about how you approach it.
yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
don't be a jerk all the time, but say hey.
All the time. Just sometimes.
Sometimes it's merited.
Am I gonna have to bleep like
No. We need to keep as much as possible.
We need context. So,
Context.
but really, that's how I see like lots of relationships end is that they just didn't talk about things, and then when something they exploded, like where did this come from?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
been pent up for
It's
who
been
knows how long.
like
years?
especially with like one person specifically in the relationship, whether it's the man or the woman or whoever.
Yeah.
It is the authority figure.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the authority figure in your relationship?
Who wears the pants, Derek?
I feel like Melissa kind of does.
You share the pants?
Yeah. Well,
Or
if
one leg?
once you get married, it changes, and you just hand over the pants at that point. So this ring, it symbolizes the actual handover portion of the relationship.
You know,
It's a bondage thing. So
whatever you're into, bud. Look,
it's
you're
a
the one sitting there
symbolic
who has a
bondage.
kid. However it works, man. Like,
They ask you how you are, you just say you're fine. You're not really fine.
This is what have you done with my good Christian Minecraft server?
What is going on? You took it there, bro. I was talking about someone else.
What do you want?
I didn't mean it that way.
What the hell did you mean that?
Kelton, I
I
think
meant as a symbolic bondage, not as an actual bondage thing.
he used the word correctly. You and I just took it to a dark place, my friend.
I don't know if we took it to a dark place or the place that was to be assumed.
Anyway, moving on.
Back to our good Christian podcast. How many wives can you have in Utah is a top
One.
search. Actually, you can have as many as you want. You have that freedom, but you might go to jail for it.
Legally, the answer is 1. Okay, also, then again, like, okay, so if multiple people want to be married to the same individual, like men or women or whatever, is it right to say you can or can't? Let's say there's one guy who wants to be married to both another guy and a girl. Is it right for us to say you can't do that?
I don't know. I actually don't know why it's illegal.
I don't understand why it's illegal either.
I think it's like an old-timey...
Well, if you think about kind of cultish things, it would make sense why we would want to regulate it, but
I mean, I don't know. It to me, it just seems kind of weird. Like, why do you care what people do? I want the government to not be involved with people's relationships, man.
well,
Not
in that
saying
case,
that I'm all for like that kind of thing, but like, you know what I mean? I just think it's weird the
I
government
understand.
controls
I
that.
understand where you're coming from, but in the case of like polygamy as it's practiced today,
Yeah, it's kind of weird, yeah.
you know, it's like okay, your cousin is also the wife.
You get some
You're-
inbreeding problems, but like I feel like
Not even that, but like it's kind of just like control. It's a control thing.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Apparently, Utah's taking action to decriminalize a lot of polygamy.
I mean, if it's a mutual thing, I wouldn't care. But like, if the kid is also the wife, or like the aunt's
Yeah.
is also going to be my
It's kinda
wife, and
weird.
if they're underage, especially,
Yeah.
that would be no.
I don't know if that was how it used to be, like kind of back in the day.
Honestly, I don't know enough about it.
I don't either.
I don't really want to know. Like a lot of it's like I don't
it
like
grosses
it.
me out,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just like, you know what?
can't do
I'm cool with not knowing. I don't really need to know. It doesn't influence my like whether what happened or not doesn't really influence me that much. I mean, I have zero desire for even one significant other. So like,
Oh,
I
come
don't
on.
care.
You're going to find someone.
Anyway, dreams. Do you think they have meaning? Yes or no?
No,
Okay.
mine don't. My Minecraft dreams don't.
I'm not gonna lie, I definitely like dissociated half of that. I was laughing really hard. It was good. I need more of that.
I
So,
think just the creative
the only
mode part kills
the creative mode. So that's recently, ever since you started me playing
We got
Minecraft.
doing a mince rap?
Usually,
It's fun.
usually it's a first-person shooter, and I'm like killing zombies in a dystopian thing.
Is it Halo?
Not Halo, actually.
Okay.
It's like a mix.
Halo guy.
So it's usually Call of Duty.
Do you
So,
play
like-
Call of Duty?
No,
Which one though?
it's not like a specific one, but
Okay.
like that style.
Right.
So usually, up until like recently, it's been Call of Duty, and I'm killing something
now
and
it's
I'm fighting it.
Minecraft.
It's
Because Minecraft is like the superior game.
well, it's there's more leeway
It's-
with it.
It's a good game.
It's a great
The actual driving within the dream is actually more like Halo.
Okay.
If I'm getting away from something, you'll go into third person mode.
Very good. Okay.
But
We're hitting.
but as soon as I get out, it goes back into first person. So I guess it is Halo.
We'll come back.
But
to
it's,
this.
it's more the guns are more modern as in today.
We'll have to come back to this because we are, on the line.
Okay. Line broken.
Yeah.
So we're back.
We're back.
So back to my dream. Usually it's, like I said, dystopian, but it's not that it's zombies necessarily, but it's usually just bad people.
Like politicians, bad people, or like
No, like
Hollywood,
Pedophiles?
Epstein types.
have you seen Book of Eli?
Yeah,
I have not.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So it's just like survivors of whatever nuclear.
Like raiders and
It'd be like
despots.
it's like the bad guys on Walking Dead.
Sure,
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Or
but not the actual zombies.
Yeah, it's a good example.
So
Or like, have you ever played like Skyrim?
Yeah,
You know, the
Long
random
time ago.
bandits, like
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
yeah, so I mean I've had those dreams a lot, but actual lucid dreams where you said where you like control everything. Those are usually I start a dream. I'm like, okay, I'm dreaming, and then I look down, and how I unlock the dream is I turn my foot all the way around, so I know that I'm dreaming, and then I fly around.
You know, they say you can't see
And-
your hands in dreams.
It's not true.
That's what I've heard.
It's
I
not
see
true.
my hands in dreams all the time.
Like
yeah.
you can't. Like that's what I've been told. I don't know if that's real. But
So
some people,
a lot of
it's a sign,
people
though.
actually will use that to unlock their dream. Is they'll lick their hand and then put their finger through it.
I
So
don't dreams. I don't know.
I mean, I can see my feet, I can see my hands, especially if I'm changing my hand into some kind of weapon that shoots things. You know, that's usually what my dreams end up being is me destroying things
Nice.
because I'm a boy and I like to think that I have superpowers. So,
things, yeah.
one dream when I was young, I actually had like, what's his face? Dr. Fantastic, like super stretching.
Right. Yeah.
Wait,
Well-
so you changed into that superhero out of?
Just let
So
it happen.
I mean, there was lots of powers I went through. I had diamond powers where I was shooting diamonds out of my hands as like crystals. Like in a lot of it was Ben 10, all of his abilities growing up.
Was he the shapeshifter guy with the watch?
Yeah, he went.
Oh yeah.
I never.
He
never
turned
watched
into
it.
whatever alien.
Dude, I remember in high school, I had a dream that I got arrested because I was driving too closely behind a trans person in traffic. But I wasn't following that close. It was the weirdest dream. I remember waking up and like, what the hell is wrong with me?
Like a transgender person?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. No, like that's the only dream I can ever remember. I don't know why.
I have a funny dream to tell you that I remember. You were. I can't
I always
remember if
die.
it was
When it was like,
you
oh,
or
you
one
were in
of
my
your-
dream that I die. Yeah.
No, you definitely didn't die in this one, but it's a funny, it's a
okay.
funny memory one.
I had a dream about you too. I can't remember what it was though.
I don't know. It just seems to be a common thread. Someone like would tell me about that. I always die in the dream.
Thanks.
Like, I'm cool with that. Like, joke's on you. I want to die. But
Bleep that out. We don't want to see that. We don't want to put that on the internet.
Nope.
What was your dream?
My dream?
Yeah, about him.
can you tell it?
No, it wasn't my dream. It was someone else's that I'm not allowed to tell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
Actually,
dreams
I
that you're
think I know
able
which
to
one you're talking about.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this later, but I think I know which one.
Yeah, that was a
It
funny
was a
one.
good meme. It's a good meme.
Do I have any weird? Dude, I don't know. I lucid dream most of the time, so they're not really weird. It's like me kind of messing around with stuff and kind of like thinking through things, which
I don't know. I still
Like scenarios?
yeah, like I'll kind of set stuff up and I'll be like, all right, so
Is
if I
Minecraft creative though?
it's kind of like that. Well, it's normally just like I'll just be like, okay, so like this is like a house that I'd want type of a deal, and then I'm like, this is like a truck, and then I was like, let's see what I could do to the truck type of a deal.
All right.
Like
That works.
it's stuff like that. That or like I'm trying to like prep for my classes tomorrow or something like that. Like I'm
So when I was working like 80 hours a week in the kitchen, because I was first married and I had to pay for crap, I would
sugar daddy.
yeah. Well,
Nice.
we didn't wasn't much sugar for all that, but I would go home, so I'd work all day, like all day. I'd get there open and then I'd close.
That's like what, 10-hour day? 12-hour day?
Probably about 13 hours.
Jeez.
So I'd open the restaurant next door and then I would close the next one. They were a sister company, so I could work at both. So I got lots of overtime, but I'd get home and I'd be exhausted, obviously, and I would sleep like super deep. But in the middle of the night, I'd have a panic attack. I would be looking for my spatula to flip a hamburger, or I'd be like touching things to check the temperature of the steak, you know, like the doneness and all that thing. I'd wake up and like trying to find, I'll grab things, like grab Melissa a couple times trying to find my steak. And like just sit up and be ready
She
to
wasn't
freaking
pumped
go.
about that.
Did you tell her, I found my steak? And she goes, What?
You
That's
what?
not a steak. No, like it was super.
That's not a steak.
That was like rough because I couldn't even go home and not be working.
Oh,
Because I was
terrible.
in my dreams, I was working.
That would actually be terrible.
It was bad. It was only a few months, but man, it wore. Yeah, I got burnt. The freak out.
Dude, yeah. So I mean, that would probably wear on your psyche pretty good, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that wouldn't be pleasant.
You know.
Have you guys ever worked that many hours? Like constantly?
Well, like I don't know. I just do like a lot of other stuff because like I do a ton of school, but like with my school, like I don't know. I normally on a non-COVID semester, I normally spent probably 50 to 60 hours at the university a week, and then on top of that, like easily another 20 just studying at home. But I feel like there's enough variety in it that it was never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, I never have dreams, so I can't relate. But when I was working for Weber, there would be like a 2-week period where I'd work like 13-hour shifts back to back and then nothing for like a month. It was like the most sporadic, weird hours I've ever worked.
I remember you got wrecked there for a little bit working
Yeah,
for them.
every
Like, that was rough. for you.
every like Christmas season, we would have that was when it was like back to back 13+ hour shifts. I would get there before the sun came up, and I would leave in the middle of the night. Like I
And
wouldn't see
you
the
were
sun
doing
for like 3 weeks.
classes and
It was like finals, and that was a bad time of my life.
yeah.
It's a bad time of my life, man.
We had some awesome drives.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I almost hit that porcupine one time. It was fun.
The deer almost hit us.
Yeah, deer. That was a good deer.
You were too busy being married to come with us.
Yeah.
We tried.
Loser.
Being married? You tried? What do you mean? What are you
Like-
talking about?
We'd always try to like hang out with you and like Melissa, but you guys
Yeah.
were too busy being married at the start.
Doing your thing, yeah.
Well, we were freaking married. Come on, give us some space. Gosh, we got to figure our own lives.
We were your homies. Give us some love.
Hey, I freaking have a podcast with you now. What the crap?
I was going to say, we can only give him so much. 'Cause, yeah, we hang out.
We
a
hang
lot
out
now. So.
Every week.
Like, yeah, literally every week.
So,
Yeah.
that
Well,
cat's meow.
It's a cat. Don't worry about it.
do we have any other things we want to talk about this week, or do we want to save it for next week?
I'm still reeling. I'm done.
Yeah, I think I might be done after. I'm so derailed after your comment.
You made the comment. You made the connection. I said it wrong.
You said the word, and Kelton and I laughed because we're degenerates.
Yeah, why are you pointing at me? Braden also laughed.
but you were the one.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I just laughed because you laughed. I don't know.
We laughed at the same time because we looked at each other.
I know.
I will review the footage and put it. I'm just like, I'll put in the edit of like we realized.
The moment you realized. Well, I didn't mean to say it that way. I'm sorry, guys.
It was so funny.
You know, like in context, it made sense. We're just degenerates.
It still didn't make sense.
But it's still good advice
Made
either way.
sense.
At the end of the day, whatever I said was good.
There you have it, guys.
Yeah.
You haven't shared any of your dreams. Like there's like all you have is like just building stuff. You can't remember
Is
anything.
there like narrative to it at all?
Most of my dreams are pretty productive, just because they're mostly lucid dreams.
Like
Like
no, all walks of life.
I don't know. I've got to think. There's a few. I have like stress dreams sometimes where like
Yeah.
normally like my teeth will fall out type of a deal, and like
Jeez.
yeah, like I'll be like running and then it's just like blood everywhere, and I'm just like, oh, what's happening? And like I can't use my left arm for some reason, and
Oh.
yeah, or like,
have you ever tried to beat someone up in a dream?
yeah, it works.
It doesn't work.
For me, it does.
So
It's a confidence
it's this
thing.
weird thing where if I try to like wind up and really go at it, it goes in slow motion. I'm just trying to get it there and I'm just, like forcing it.
Really?
Yeah, but if I go soft, it goes normal speed, but it's soft.
Dude, I beat the crap out of people in a dream.
Usually, if I have a gun, I will.
If you
No, but like with no gun, like, and it's legitimately just like a fist fight.
It's
like,
not always that way, but a lot of times, if especially if someone's like, you know, like attacking Melissa or something like that, like I'll like grab them and then I'll just like be able to hold them down, and that's pretty much all I can do because I can't hit them because
Did you and Ryan ever like box each other?
we wrestled, we didn't box.
I wonder if that has something to do with it. If you don't have like the
Capability of
well, no, it's just like your brain
Throwing it.
doesn't have a reference point of what it's like to slug somebody to mean it.
Mm-hmm.
but you know what it's like to hold somebody down.
But what about
Right.
like punching a punching bag? Like you still probably have that feeling, you know?
No, because like if you punching a punching bag and punching a living breathing human is very different. Not only a tactile feel, but like the sound it makes, the reaction the person has. Like I feel like
moves.
yeah, because like I know people say that like you oftentimes like in dreams you only see faces that you've seen. You can't come up with an entirely new face in your dreams. Like usually, that's what I've heard. I don't know.
I've heard that too.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
As well.
So like I wonder if some of it has to do with like your brain needs a reference point. Because like I'm sure you and the Spaders have had boxing matches, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, your brain has a reference point of what it's like to punch somebody and connect in their reaction.
Yeah. Well, when we were littler too, it was it was without gloves too. Like we just get mad while playing night games. It was a boys thing.
Been there, done that. That's what you do.
Yeah.
But like Derek, you mostly wrestle, right? So like it would make sense that you would be able to do that because your brain's like, oh yes, I know how this goes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I had other types of dreams that before I had any reference point, I had those dreams.
What the hell are you talking about this episode?
What do you think he's talking about?
So I don't think that's completely accurate.
I don't know. That was me playing armchair psychology. Ruined it.
So
I
I mean,
don't know.
maybe there's something to that. But
You already know.
I don't want to know details.
I know. I don't want to know details, but we both know.
I know what he means. I just don't want to know anymore.
I know. I didn't want to know that.
And me too. I think I don't know what to say anymore, man. It's getting kind of Freudian.
Yeah, I'm getting like, Derek, you're just on one tonight. Yeah.
This is why I enjoy this. This is actually very fun. Yeah.
I haven't done the night. It's normal.
We're so delayed.
I mean, it's normal.
I'm going to need like, I don't know what I'm going to need after this.
What is this noise? Stop making that noise. Stop that. None of that. There we go. Oh, Derek.
We took a turn there at the dream thing, didn't we?
Hard turn.
We talked about some good stuff.
It was, see that ditch? That's where we're going.
Yeah, and then like we were in the ditch, and then Derek was driving with like a bus and saw Braden and I in the ditch. He's like, "Let's talk about some."
The bus that can't go slower than 50 miles an hour.
Oh yeah. I just. Oh, okay. That was a fun talk though.
Anyway,
I think that's it. We're gonna call it good.
I think we're done.
Like and subscribe. Tell us what you want to see. If you want Derek to talk more about that, please just don't ask him to.
No, leave us a
What's,
comment.
what's it called? The fan only?
OnlyFans?
Only fan.
OnlyFans. Yeah. No.
Derek will open an OnlyFans.
To talk about these things.
Yeah.
Give life advice.
So that can actually be used for not like porn stuff, right?
I mean, okay, yes, but if you're going to make one.
It's for, like that. Because I heard it wasn't originally intended for that. And then.
But the policies are so you can do it.
So I heard that like the Disney Channel star opened one.
Which one? There's like many.
I don't remember her name.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway,
Thorne?
it was that girl. She made like $1 million in the first week.
I would believe that.
Derek, get after it. You're already into telling people this stuff anyway.
Whatever.
So,
give
we'll
no
see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Ciao.